It's the early 1900s in Alma, Michigan, a small Midwestern town quietly humming with industry. As dawn breaks, smokestacks rise against the sky. At the edge of town, the Alma Sugar Company's refinery roars to life, boiling slices of locally grown sugar beets into sweet crystal sugar. By 1911, this factory employs 350 men, each one starting his day shoveling beets or stoking the fires. This thriving sugar beet industry emerged after the lumber era faded, turning former pine forests into fertile farmland. Neighbors who once felled trees now harvest beets, fueling a new economy that will soon help sustain a nation at war. Across the Pine River from the sugar refinery stands the Alma Roller Mills, its giant water wheel turning slowly at the dam. Built in the 1880s by local entrepreneur Ammi Wright, the roller mill grinds wheat into flour, filling sacks branded Alma's Best for kitchens across Michigan. The steady rumble of millstones and the scent of fresh ground grain remind everyone in town that Alma's prosperity is tied to the bounty of its fields. In these early years of the 20th century, Alma is transforming from a frontier village into a buzzing hub of agriculture and manufacturing. Ammi Wright's influence is everywhere. A generation earlier, he arrived in Alma with lumber wealth and big dreams. By 1900, Wright had poured his fortune into this community, building an opera house, a college, a tuberculosis sanitarium, the roller mill, and even the first sugar beet refinery. His stone mansion on State Street watched over a town on the rise. Thanks to pioneers like him, Alma entered the 1910s with electric lights, a new city hall, and a board of trade eager to spur growth. Wright's final act of generosity came in 1910 when he donated his sprawling sanitarium to establish the Michigan Masonic Home. In that grand building, with its brick facade and white cupolas, elderly Freemasons from across Michigan found shelter and care. Alma, once a remote outpost, had become a community of civic institutions and forward-looking people. As the 1910s unfold, winds of war from Europe begin to stir even here. In 1914, just as the Republic Truck Company is founded in Alma, World War I erupts overseas. Frank Ruggles, a Detroit engineer turned automaker, sees an opportunity. He had taken over one of Ammi Wright's ventures, the fledgling Alma Manufacturing Company, and reorganized it into Republic Motor Truck Company. On the factory floor, under the glow of new electric lamps, crews of mechanics assemble engines and chassis. The first trucks they build are modest one-ton Hercules models made under contract for Maxwell Motor Company. But Ruggles has bigger plans. By 1915, Republic introduces a sturdier 3-ton truck, perfect for the tough demands of military service. Alma's business leaders rally behind the enterprise. They raise $35,000 to expand the truck plant and even persuade the city to grant a 10-year tax break to keep the booming factory in town. From the mayor's office to the local newspaper, everyone senses that Alma is on the brink of something big. When the United States enters World War I in 1917, Alma's industries shift into high gear. Over at Republic Truck, the assembly lines run day and night. The U.S. Army has placed a massive order for the new standardized military transport, the Class B Liberty Truck. Republic is chosen as one of America's major suppliers of these vital vehicles. The factory's output surges. By 1918, Republic Motor Truck Company is the largest exclusive truck manufacturer in the world. 1 out of every 9 trucks on American roads now proudly bears the Republic Alma, Michigan nameplate. Photographs from 1918 show rows of Liberty trucks lined up in downtown Alma, brand new and ready to ship over there to the front. It's an inspiring sight. Dozens of olive drab trucks, each emblazoned with a white star, rumbling over brick streets toward the rail yard. Townsfolk pause to watch and wave as convoys depart. In the words of a Republic advertisement, one goes to Damascus for swords, Dayton for cash registers, Alma for trucks. At the same time, Alma's other factories and farms are doing their part. The sugar refinery keeps up a steady output, hundreds of tons of Michigan beet sugar to sweeten American kitchens when imported. Cane sugar is scarce. During the war, sugar becomes a strategic commodity. Rationing and sugarless Sundays remind everyone not to waste it. Every sack from Alma's plant helps fill the nation's needs. Over at Swift & Company's produce plant, there's a constant bustle. Swift & Company had arrived in 1913, taking over the Central Michigan Produce Company's creamery. Farmers from all over Gratiot County deliver milk in cans and bring livestock to the Alma stockyards. Inside the Swift plant, local girls and boys, some just out of school, pack butter, condense milk, and prepare smoked meats. During wartime, demand for food is higher than ever. It's reassuring to know that even in a small town like Alma, people are working to feed soldiers and civilians alike. And always, the railroads keep everything moving. Alma's Union Depot, a handsome red brick station, stands at the crossing of two major rail lines, the Pere Marquette and the Ann Arbor Railroad. In 1911, this depot saw as many as 18 passenger trains a day, plus countless freight trains hauling raw materials and finished goods. Just imagine the scene. A steam locomotive chugs into the station, whistle screaming, pulling cars loaded with Alma's exports, barrels of sugar, crates of canned vegetables, stacks of milled lumber, even brand-new Republic trucks mounted on flat cars. On the platform, troops bound for training camps bid teary farewells to their families. The whole town seems to converge at the depot, a hive of hellos and goodbyes, of commerce and patriotism. Through this busy junction, Alma is linked to Detroit, to Chicago, and ultimately to the ports that will send its products abroad. By late 1918, as the Great War nears its end, Alma, Michigan has firmly established itself as an indispensable cog in the larger war machine. This once quiet town has sent its sons to fight in France and its trucks and provisions to support them. The war's end brings celebration, but also uncertainty. In November 1918, church bells ring out in Alma to mark the armistice. Soldiers will come home. War orders will dry up. At Republic Truck, the management weighs the future. More than 40,000 trucks were produced during the war years, and now thousands of used Army trucks will flood the market, threatening the booming business. Indeed, in the post-war recession, Republic's sales plummet and layoffs follow. Yet, in the story of Alma, there is no regret, only pride. The town answered the nation's call with ingenuity and hard work. The early 1900s were a defining era in the history of Alma, Michigan. From Ammi Wright's investments in civic life to Frank Ruggles' trucks rolling off the line, Alma thrived when duty demanded it. A century has passed, but if you walk the streets of Alma today, echoes of that time remain. The old sugar refinery's brick walls still stand, bathed in golden afternoon light. The grand halls of the Michigan Masonic Home continue to welcome residents as they have since 1911. Today, you can see a restored Republic truck, olive drab with a white star, sits proudly in a local museum, a relic of the town's manufacturing glory. These are more than just artifacts. They are reminders of a community that punched far above its weight. In the crucible of World War I, Alma proved that even the smallest town can shape the course of history. Thanks for listening. Please follow us for the next episode and make suggestions in the comments on what small Michigan town we should cover next.